Okay, just do a little bit of a video to go through because it's almost finished now. I've got the tracks done. I'm missing five pieces. I'm waiting on filament. I've got the sides done. There's just the greebles to do, and I thought I'd just go through what I've done so that if anybody's asking any questions, it's quite a simple build actually. This is the type of thing. Like I watched the videos. And like I said, if you've done a small mini robot, it's quite an easy build. There's not too much electronics, and voila, it's quite simple. So this is the radio I use, right? I do have the cheap Fly Sky ones that work really great, but what's good about this one is I can use almost any receiver. And there's a lot of trimming stuff on it, which helps a lot, and it's quite easy to use. And you can also put loads of models in photos and personalise it, but it's got lots of gimbals and touches, and it's really easy to use. Now I'll just go through what I did with the famous neck twist. I'll show you afterwards. The famous neck twist is, I'll just go into the menu. I'm not sure if I can focus on any of this. There we go. So we're going into the menu, so everything's quite easy. Now you just go into the mixes, and what I've done is, on the elevators, left and right, yeah, so I've got channels 2 and 3 for the 2 servos at the back. I mixed it with these switches on the side, these sliders on the side, so that I can actually do that famous head tilt and control 1 servo at a time. Without having to flick a button or anything, and everything's just because I've got my head movement here, yeah, and I've just got that on this side and the other one on that side, and I can slant the head from side to side dead easy. Now these go quite cheap actually. Now when I bought it, this is the Jumper T16 V2. You can actually pick one up for about 116 to 120 pounds, and second hand even better. There's a lot of people said there's problems with the ribbon cables. There are. I'm not hiding it, but every now and again, about once every 3-4 months, I've just got to go in and unclip it, put the ribbon cable back in. Apparently you've got over the problem now. Right, I'll go back to this mixing business. Now all I did was, all you've got to do to do mixing on this is I put in this famous left slider, right slider. I put one as minus, lost you. One is minus 100 and one is 100, like you do on the, and you just go in, edit it, there you go, 100. When you go to this, you just click on it, choose what you want, what button, and it automatically puts it all on. It saves so much time, it really does. Takes a little getting used to, and I was talking about slowing the head down. Now you've actually got, you can slow up things on the radio, dead easy. You choose what value you want. I've slowed it by 4. It just gives it that, and I've done it to all the head servos and all the mixes. So I'll just come out of here. I just wanted to show you that quickly. So there we go. Return. Now we're back in there. Model 81 for the moment. I've got to put the photo in. Now to switch it on, I've put a little button underneath. There was at some point the question whether the head will. Now these have got the 20 kilo servos in. The head is well balanced. You did a great job, Michael. It doesn't sag even if I tap it. It stays in place. The head doesn't tilt like the little Tido used to. Tido. Go through what we've got on here. The motors from the scooters, scooter motors. Now I pick up these. Razor and e-scooter use the same motors. Now you can find them second hand. You get 100 watt, 120 watt ones. It's the MY6. Hang on, MY6812. It's the reference on it. There are ZY6812s, and I'm not sure, but I think they work as well. The ones exactly the same size as go into the R2. Make sure when you get this in to get everything squared up, all your screws, so you've got a good mesh. Now mesh is a little tight, so it makes a bit of a noise, but I'll sort that out later because good meshing is always important on gears. Too tight, you're gonna cause problems. Too loose, you're gonna strip your gears. Meshing, what you can actually do, and it's a good tip, is get a little strip of A4 paper, and when you're meshing it up and tightening it up, is put a little tip from radio controlled days, is put the A4 paper between the two gears, and mesh it up with a piece of A4 paper, and that'll just give you that little tiny gap. That'll keep it just right, just mesh right. Now what I did finally, because I know they were talking about putting litho panes in, I had an old tablet. We'll just switch it on if I hit the right button, and I thought it'd be nice to integrate something into the front. And I was looking for an idea, and I was going through my drawers of stuff, because I've got tons of rubbish and stuff, and I thought, well, why not put this tablet in? Because you can actually put your music on there, your sound effects on there and everything. Put whatever screens you want on, screensavers. And I actually loaded what do you call it? A system in that changes the standard system to a sci-fi system. Oh, that's the missus and my daughter, I'll get that. It actually changes the system menu to a Wi-Fi, a sci-fi system when it wants to come up. Ah, there we go. So you get this sort of, they don't all do landscape. So when you're going on Play Store and you're looking for a system, look for one that does landscape. So, you know, you've got access to everything. And this is all set up with the house as well, so I can actually control my lights through the Google Home and everything. For the sound effects, for the moment, I've just got them on VC player. Audio list, there we go, Edison. I will try and set it up so that, and then I can just come out of here and it'll go on doing its own sound effects. I put a glass piece on there. Inside there's an Arduino for the LEDs here. I tried to keep everything simple. I didn't want to go into something, and it is really quite a simple build. There's just one Arduino in there. I took the 3.3 volts to put just 3.3 volt LEDs there, and then I used an existing example in Arduino to do the light effects. Now switch it on. I've got a switch underneath. There we go. So I've got the 3 LEDs, and then I actually covered the LEDs. Well, the LEDs don't show up too well when the light's going down. So as you can see, I'll just do a bit of side to side. That's one side. That's the other side. Now, when I said I slowed it all down, as you can see, I can go as fast as I want. It won't go any faster than that. And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it all the way there. Now just let go of the stick. I'm not touching the stick, and it comes back slowly and centre slowly, so there's none of that jerking. That's done with the radio. And I thought, you know, it gives it that more. The eye I put on a switch, simple switch. For this I put it on a I put it on a switch as well, a 3-position switch. I put the little red dots on just so you can actually see it spinning. There you go, it's got its 2 positions. So it's quite simple in there. The servos are in. You run everything through the centre. There's a hole in the centre. If you're doing any extensions, pass the wires before you put the actual plugs on them. It'll make life a lot easier to pass it through the hole, believe me. Talking from experience. And that's it. Now, I've used quite cheap speed controllers because I blew up 2 stupid, wired them up the wrong way around, 2 good speed controllers. So I've got some cheap ones in. But as you can see, it's all running. So that's the speed controllers winding. So it's all working, and it's not a very expensive build either. It uses not too much filament. I find the ready to sky servos are better because you actually get 180 degrees. Now a lot are advertised, and we'll just go as 180, and they're actually a lot less than 180. The ready to sky ones that are advertised as 180 are 180, and I've been using them for a while, and that's about it really. Like I said, it's not a complicated build. The 2020 that's going through, I had an old FL Sun printer that was dead and buried in my little junk room, so I put that bit in. Got a bit, gonna see what I can do to make this stand out a little bit more here and here. There were no real complications putting it together, honestly, just making sure everything's squared up right, getting the right bearings and stuff. And I like to use wood screws, to be honest. That's just my personal preference for the plastic. I've got these to paint up yet, and there you go. That's your buddy. Oh, we've even got the weather here in Montélimar in France, 19 degrees with clouds. And if I look out the window, well, for once it's right. I can actually put the radio on and control all kinds of stuff with this, which is, you know, and you can pick up a cheap tablet. I wanted to keep it, I was thinking, well, I've got a Raspberry Pi screen and everything, but then I'd have to set up all the stuff, Cody and everything, and set up. And I just put the tablet in there, and I can actually add other screens and play music or whatever, put YouTube on. So, you know, just putting that little tablet in there gives it that little, oh, come out a bit, it just gives it that little final touch. There you go, that's the overview. And don't be scared of these radios, they take some getting used to, but once you've used the Fly Sky radio, what's good about these is you can put lots of models on, you've got all the buttons you want. It looks complicated, but there's a lot of help, and like I said, everything's really nicely placed. Like, you know, putting this nod down, controlling one servo at a time, and that it's just in the right place. I haven't got to go and search a button, so I can actually move the head around. Hang on, we'll do that. I can actually move the head around and use the. I've got to set my endpoints. And use the nod, so I'm getting like all sorts of movement. Oh yeah, and I put the aerial on this knob here. There we go. So that was just a little rundown. Michael, you did a fantastic job. Honestly, I do not know how you get these things out like you do, and it's been a pleasure for me because, like I said, I've been away at hospital for a while, and sort of I got back a few days ago, and I do like to have stuff to do now. You know, when I'm stuck at home because I can't work. So I've got so much to do. It just seems there's not enough time, to be honest. I was up until 3 in the morning just finishing stuff off. I really am passionate about these robots. They're just wonderful. And hopefully, like I said, we'll be able to get round to go into the hospitals. We're not allowed in at the moment because of COVID. So with a few friends, we'll take a few robots out and give them a little robot for each ward that we go to. At the moment, I sort of got kids come into the house and that, but it's a bit awkward because I have to get, you know, all the stuff out on the table and explain. But it's good because then they get to build it with me, so that's good anyway. Okay, there you go. Long video, sorry.